Hey everyone, welcome back to Ongoing Tech. Today we are building a AI agent or maybe a AI conversational agent which will help you in your system design mock interviews. Yep, you heard it right. And we'll be using Agora Conversational AI to build this. It's a super great product which you can later extend it as well. So idea is very simple. I mean, getting good at system design interviews has one problem, one pitfall, because the mock interviews are expensive. If you try to book even a single mock interview on platforms like interviewing.io or I got an offer or even on TopNet, it will cost you around hundreds of dollars, right? Even if you try Exponent free peer-to-peer mock interviews, after 5 free trials, you will have to pay for it. And you don't need one mock interview, right? You need tens or twenties maybe, so that until you're whiteboarding, you have good confidence and you feel normal under pressure, and that will cost you good amount of money from pockets just to practice, not even real interviews. So because I was getting a lot of comments on my system design interview videos that how to practice mock interviews. So come up with an idea so that most of the people do this three thing first: runs locally, uses Agora's conversational AI, does the wonders, right? Now here the interviewer, the AI interview will test whatever you're talking, whatever you're drawing on the board, and will defend your decision. You'll think out loud, and maybe it will push back if you're taking a wrong architectural decision. Yep. So let's move forward. This is how it's something look like. So on the screen you see this app is running locally on my system. System is in mock interview. You select right now. I have just put 4 questions, but you can extend it to have more than that. I mean, I'll show you in the code where you can have more such problems. Even you can give the exact problem, maybe from interviewclub.com. You just ingest all the exact boundary in which you want your agent to run and react. So I exactly built that, right? And it's free to run anywhere locally. And this is like AI mock interview for a system design. It asks you a real question, right? Let's say design your URL shortener, or maybe design ride sharing like Rapido. And it does 3 things a human interview does. First, it listens to you when you reasons or when you think out loud. It watches. I mean, in the MVP, this feature is not there, but I would like someone of you to extend it and build that whatever you're drawing on the whiteboard, we are using Excalibur, which is like open source drawing board. Whatever you're drawing, it is able to catch it and feed it in the context. And here's the part I love: it interrupts you. Yes, with this conversation AI model that Agora provides, it interrupts you if you wire every read straight into a single in a single context, right? So it sometimes would say, hold on, this is not clear, or maybe this decision I'm not sure of what you're doing. Do you want to think again and come up with a better solution? These kind of feedback you will get. I mean, real human feedback, and that pressure, being challenged mid-thought, is what you want to practice, right? So in next 10 minutes or 8 minutes, I'll show you how you can build this using Agora Conversational AI Engine and how you can scaffold the same voice AI foundation with a couple of CLI commands. Okay, so I'll quickly give you a walkthrough and then we'll jump directly into setting up in your local repository. Or maybe I'll provide you the GitHub link in the description where you can fork it or clone it and start using it directly. So let's say if I say I click, I mean, you have multiple other options, but we'll start with your shorten because that's easy for demo.
Hi,
Yep.
I'm Sam. I'll be your interviewer today. Here's your question. Design a URL shortener like Bitly. Given a long URL, return a short link that redirects to it. Feel free to ask clarifying questions first, then sketch your design on the whiteboard while you talk me through it.
Yep. As you can see here, we have our Excalibur on our left hand side, which is where you will draw, and right hand side is your agent. Actually, right now I've muted it, but if I start with like function requirement, I'll unmute and say, okay, I'll start with function requirement. It will give you feedback. It will interrupt you. It will actually act as a interview in the MVP feature. It doesn't actually sees what you're drawing, but I would like someone of you to extend it and maybe develop a better version of it. So let's do a quick demo. Hey, thanks. So I would like to start with function requirement, and some of the very basic function requirement that I would like to have in URL shortener would be that a user should be able to shorten a long URL into a shortened code URL, right? Something like Bitly does. And user should be able to put a expiry on that particular shortened code URL. Is that fine with you?
Yes, those are solid functional requirements. You've mentioned shortening a long URL and allowing for an expiration on the shortened link. Are there any other requirements you want to consider, like analytics or user accounts?
And definitely, I would like to talk on the analytics part of it. Maybe we can track the number of clicks that the shortened code has seen so far. And about the user account, can we assume that all the authorization, authentication things are like out of scope, and we can just focus on these 3 functional requirements?
That sounds reasonable. So, to summarize, you want to focus on shortening a URL, setting an expiration, and tracking the number of clicks. We can assume user authentication and authorization are out of scope for now. What scale are we designing for?
So as you can see, this is how actual interview would be like, where you are actually talking to it as if you're talking to a human interviewer, and then you can start maybe start typing like functional requirement. Exactly how would you do? I mean, whatever requirement one that we discussed, and then requirement two that we discussed, and requirement three that is discussed, right? So crazy, right? For now, I've muted so that agent can't hear whatever you're talking, but this is the gist of it, what we are, what you can build. And this is so powerful, right? This Agora Conversational AI is such a powerful thing that you can build an agent, such agent, like maybe in like 5 to 10 minutes, or maybe in max of 10 minutes, I would say. First on the very clear question, why should we use Agora here? Because I think Agora is a kind of leader here, which can be very helpful for any, if a student or even if a working professional. Agora provides a voice agent, like this is like really real time, right? Where it uses a microphone audio which has to reach to cloud, get transcribed. As you can see here, we are using DeepGram STT. STT is like speech to text, and then we are using OpenAI LLM. We are using Foro Mini, and then we are using Minimax TTS. And this is provided default. TTS is text to speech model. We are using Minimax. These are all the default values, and you can also use any of your own. I mean, you can bring your own identity. You can use the Gemini. You can use OpenAI DeepSeek. Just bring your API key, and you can use it. But we'll talk about it. What different? Yeah. So you use your microphone audio, which has to reach the cloud, and that can get transcribed, run through LLM, get converted back to speech, and stream back to your browser. This is like complete pipeline of what you're seeing here, and it's all happening very real time. And like the latency here is like 100 millisecond, and it's fast enough that it feels like a conversation, right? Not like a walkie-talkie. So that's the Agora Conversation AI engine that runs the entire pipeline, and it's provided you as a SaaS. I mean, just once here, like a wonder way, right? Speech to text, the LLM, and text to speech as a managed agent in Agora Cloud. So the agent joins your call like another participant, which is like your interviewer here. And my app never touches the raw audio, right? Here's the best part. I didn't need a single third API key, right? Everything is part of Agora. No API key, no OpenAI key, no DeepGram key, no TTS key. Agora manages the model, the complete agent end to end, and everything get built through your one Agora project. That's it. And two channel works. I mean, two channels does the all of the like RTC carries your audio both ways, and RTM, which is Agora real time messaging algorithm, it carries everything else, which is like live transcripts, whatever agent state it is, and the latency and everything that is seen here. And even with my whiteboard updates, which you can integrate it later. Yep. So let's get started into the integration part, how you can set up Agora in your local and basically your local machine and get started in just one click of command, which is this is the Agora CLI repo. It will be available in the description. You can directly jump to here, and you just need this command. Yeah. If you don't have this command, it's fine. You come here, paste it. I have already installed it, so it might throw that it is already there available. Okay. Yeah. So this installing. It says if it is not installed on your machine, it will install and it will be good to go. And yep, if you have other option like if you don't have a Mac machine, then you can run commands via for Linux and for Windows. Yeah, come back. And once you are done with this, then the next command is Agora login. And that's it, man. Just see. I mean, you see the other option could be do a Agora login via UI, but I'm a developer. I love CLI commands. So I just do Agora login, and it will actually open a login page for me, something like this. And it'll say, because it was for me, Agora was already logged in. So it's a authentication successful. Otherwise, you have to go through some bunch of steps where you select your Google account and just log in. That's it. Yeah, that's it. And login is done. So once the authentication is done, the next step is to set up our application. I'll use Next.js app. You'll have a bunch of other options, but the command is simple: Agora init, and you put your project name. Let's say my AI interviewer. That's it. You get 3 quick start templates. One is Next.js, Python, and other is Go. All built in for you. I'll use Next.js. So the good and the best part of it here, if you would have using the Agora UI, which is like you have to go Agora login page, and then the login page you have to set up your project. You have to create a project, and then get the API key and go back to your app, add the API key, all those things. I mean, you have to then start with your creating that npm application, whatnot, man. So, but with all of these things are pretty straightforward, and you can see here it has given our next command to follow. You are into your application. If you see here npm install, it will install all the dependencies. But while it install, let's see what all it has done. So as you can see, it has all a bunch of the default components, docs, whatnot, hooks, libraries. So we'll see the important part is our env local file. Here you see all the essentials that we need to start the Agora API ID, which is the API key and the certificate, agent ID, everything is set up by default. You don't need to do the hassle of copying it from there, pasting it here, setting it up, and then running the application. No, not at all needed. Okay, so we'll say pnpm dev. There's some error. Let me quickly fix it and come back. Okay, so fix the issue. The issue was with this allow builds pnpm workspace file. There were placeholders which we had to change it to true for all of these three. Earlier it was set to something else. So now our service running. So meanwhile, you can see that it has a default baseline agent setup. I mean, all the hassle is all gone now, available to you right away. You can just click on start conversation and you'll see the magic happening, right? So in just like a minute or two, you're able to set up your live.
I'm Ada, your virtual assistant from Agora. How can I help?
Yep, see, it's all done live. So this is what we have quickly built, right? And also, let's see where exactly we are setting the configuration of our the voice agent, right? So if you see here, this is where we are setting up agent, the Agora agent, and the pipeline that you set is for STT is our deep gram default, which is like an OpenAI, LLM, Minimax, Reseller, TTS, which is like text to speech. So this is where we set, right? And then with STTT, we use deepgram. Everything comes by default. Don't need to set up any of these. But if you want to bring your own API key, you can change it to whatever you want. Maybe it could be a Gemini model, it could be another OpenAI model, right? Here we are using GPT-4 Mini testing purpose. Quite a good model for basic thing. And then TTS is Minimax TTS. That's it. So this agent has to be. I mean, this is the baseline agent that we are talking with, right? It has some default instruction, right? The agent takes some instruction, and here we'll change the system instruction so that it lives in an interview persona, right? So we'll define it to maybe some principal engineer, and we'll say, okay, you are a principal engineer where you have to act like a fan guy who takes like bunch of interviews, and you have to guide. I mean, you have to be maybe you can ask your agent to be very much grilling. It should be could be very rude, or it could be in a helping nature. I mean, you can tweak it as ever you want, right? This is the persona that I've added, the prompt, right? Persona friendly, and the guide. That's it. I mean, so this is the place where you have to edit it. And if you open my repo, you will see a different prompt altogether. This is a default prompt, right? This is a default prompt. You will see which you actually need to tweak it. Yeah, and this is my interview prompt in the starting story demo, right? This is the system prompt that I have written for myself. The voice style, the interview flow, the whiteboarding, the canvas, even catching the little flag and how to reply, everything. I mean, this is a system prompt that you want your agent to behave like. And also, if you don't want to do all the hassle of these things, you can use Agora Skills. I mean, this is the fastest way to build real-time conversational AI apps with your maybe the baseline agent, or you can tweak it to your personal agent, right? And this Agora skill has every knowledge. I mean, this skill can help you build AI voice agent, tutor, companions, customer service straight out of the box. Just use this AI. I mean, using skill is very simple. You just install this skill, and this skill will be available directly to your Cloud Code, OpenAI Codex, Gemini Anti-Gravity, whatever you want. And it covers everything that you want. Straightforward with the RTC, Conversational AI, which is the one we are using, even for recording or tokens, authentication, everything is straight out of the box, can be used by this Agora skill. So that's how you can build a mock interview that would actually cost like hundreds of dollars, but now this is like free of cost running on your laptop, and you can tweak it and make it very personalized for yourself, for your interview preparation, for your next FANG interview or startup interview. And the repo will be linked below in the description. Just clone it, run Agora in it, and you are like practicing in minutes, right? And the same pattern. You can change the voice agent, change the behavior, however you want to tweak it. Use it for twittering, use it for any other purpose. Like you can also use it for like you want to learn new language. You can use it for that. Anything where like an AI needs to watch you work and gives you some tips, or it wants you to interrupt and speak up for your behalf. So if this was useful, like, subscribe. It generally helps me motivate. Drop a comment what you want to build next on this, and then see you in the next one. Bye.